The fact I'm hearing civil aviation fly above is a very good sign. When you live here in the UAE, you look for the good signs, and the good signs are having civil aviation and not military aircraft flying over. That's the world I live in. Today I'm going to go a different direction than what I normally do. I'm going to read a speech to you. And I know you're like, really? Read a speech? I don't have a teleprompter, and so I'm going to be reading it from my phone. You can find the speech at True Blue Iowan Blogspot. If you Google True Blue Iowan, you'll find the blog. You'll find this post. But it's important that I do it right. So here we go. In the multiverse, the chances of me ending up at Co were low. My eyes were too bad for the Air Force Academy, so majoring in meteorology at Iowa State was the plan. Then I met Bill Spellman at Co. I knew that day in the summer of 1985 that I was coming to Co to major in economics, but this post is not about Professor Spellman. It is about Co. I'm not good at knowing when to express gratitude and who to thank. I am blessed with awesome mentors and besties. They know who they are, but sometimes I wonder, have I done a good job of letting them know how much they mean to me? And then, what do you do about complicated relationships? The most complicated relationships in my world are the ones with my siblings. The one year I worked with Upward Bound at Co. was enlightening. Stick with me here. I'll connect the dots. Upward Bound is an awesome program that used to be ran out of Co College and other colleges around the world. Around the United States. It's a major federal program. I volunteered for them when I was a student and came to work for them in the summer of 1993. I was excited to be in Voorhees Hall, which had just been renovated, so we had air conditioning. Previously, they stayed in Green Hall, which was the hall that I was normally the RA for. As an RA, I was the last to move out, and so the year before that, my bestie's fiance walked in on me while I was taking a shower because she was going to be the RA for that floor. And I said to Rahul later, well, you've never seen me naked, but Audrey's, we had a good conversation while I was taking a shower. I'm going to connect the dots. Stick with me. The students in Upward Bound come from crazy families. Hearing their stories made me realize that even though depression and substance abuse runs deep in my family, I have a brother, aunt, and uncle who all committed suicide. I actually had a pretty good childhood. None of us kids ever worried about having a roof over our head or food on the table. Our very German father saw to that. Dad and I were not close while I was growing up. Fortunately for me, we were able to reconcile our differences before he died. And you're obviously asking, how is this connecting the dots? Just again, stick with me. Although I was 39 before I truly understood Dad's philosophy, when I did, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I cried. Dad didn't cry. Cold German. But here's his philosophy. You do your best for the people you love. I know that sounds simple, but it's actually not simple. I've morphed that. My philosophy is know who you will take a bullet for and walk it backwards. I don't buy stock in Coke, even though everyone knows how much I love Coke, because if something happens that I then, I don't want to think about the stock price of Coke while I'm enjoying a Coke. I just can't. It, I want to love it unconditionally. The best addition to Facebook years ago was the "It's complicated" feature to describe relationships. That's me with Co. As much as I love the place, it's also true that they screwed me over more than once. And it's also true that they screwed over some friends of mine and children of friends of mine. So I have some issues there. The thing is, none of those people are there anymore, or they're not in any position of power anymore. And that the person who is in a position of power is a guy by the name of Dave Hayes. I've known Dave since he arrived on campus. He's 2 years behind me, and I've known him since his freshman year. And his best friends I know very well. And I know for a fact that he's just one of the best human beings that I've ever met. He also happens to be a fellow economist. We like to call what we do the dismal science. It's about Malthus. Let it go. Let it go. It's about Malthus. Anyhow, we call ourselves dismal science. Today is Co's Day of Giving. So I'm happy to wear one of my Co shirts. And as complicated as my relationship with Co is, I know that it is that relationship. It is my time at Co, my time living in Green Hall, my time of getting to know Spellman incredibly well. Actually, there's so many things Spellman did that in today's world probably would get him fired. But that's who Bill was. When he died, I found myself in then co-college president Jim Pfeiffer's office because I was doing the eulogy, and of course, Jim was going to speak there too. And Jim made it clear that he was jealous of Bill. He was jealous of Billy's boys. Bill had mentees that were women, but Billy's boys was pretty accurate. And actually, it's just because not many women back then majored in economics. I'm not sure. I think it's more now, but yeah, let it go. Today is the day of giving. I urge everyone who has any connection to Co and has any goodwill towards our alma mater. Today's the day to give. Back to the war. If anything happens that really needs to be talked about, I'll do a bonus post. Otherwise, see you tomorrow.